Ordering food at a cafe. On Friday, Emma meets Noah outside a small cafe near the city park. A blue sign hangs above the door, and a round table stands beside the window. Emma has a notebook in her bag because she wants to practice ordering food in English. Inside the cafe, fresh coffee and warm bread are on the counter. There is a glass counter with cake, pastry, and sandwiches. A menu is written on a board behind the cashier. Emma looks at the menu, but there are many choices. Noah smiles. "Take your time," he says. "You can order slowly." Emma nods and opens her notebook. She wrote a few useful sentences before she came. I would like, can I have, and how much is. She wants to sound clear and polite. They join the short line near the counter. Emma looks at the tray in front of the cashier. There are cups, napkins, and a small basket of bread rolls. On the shelf behind the counter, she sees tea, juice, and a bottle of milk. When it is Emma's turn, the cashier says, "Hi. What would you like?" Emma feels a little nervous, but she speaks slowly. "Can I have a cheese sandwich and a cup of tea, please?" Of course, the cashier says. "Would you like anything else?" Emma looks at the glass counter again. A lemon cake sits on a white plate. It looks fresh, but she is not very hungry. "No, thank you," Emma says. That is all. Noah orders coffee and a croissant. The cashier puts the sandwich, tea, coffee, and croissant on a tray. Then the screen shows the price. Emma takes her wallet from her bag and pays by card. The cashier gives her a receipt. Emma checks it carefully. Sandwich, tea, coffee, croissant. The total is correct. She puts the receipt into her notebook and carries the tray to a table near the window. At the table, Emma takes a napkin and places the cup beside her plate. The tea is hot, so she waits. Noah sits across from her and opens a small packet of sugar. "You ordered very clearly," Noah says. Emma smiles. "I was afraid I would forget the words." "You did not forget," Noah says. "You used a full sentence, and you said please." Emma looks around the cafe. A plant stands in the corner. A clock hangs on the wall. Rain taps softly on the window, and a dog waits under the roof outside the door. Noah points to another table near the counter. A student has a notebook, a cup of coffee, and a plate with a sandwich. A small bag rests under the chair. Emma notices the menu on the table and reads the drink names again. Tea, coffee, juice, and milk are easy choices, but saying them at the counter still feels like real practice. After a few minutes, Emma takes a bite of her sandwich. The bread is warm and the cheese is soft. She drinks a little tea and relaxes. Ordering food now feels easier than she expected. Then Noah points to the receipt. "There is one small thing," he says. "The cashier forgot to add my croissant." Emma looks at the receipt again. He is right. The croissant is on the tray, but not on the paper. Emma stands up with the receipt in her hand. This time she feels more confident. She walks back to the counter and waits beside the basket of rolls. "Excuse me," she says to the cashier. "I think the croissant is missing from the receipt." The cashier checks the screen and nods. "You are right. Thank you for telling me." Emma pays for the croissant with a coin from her wallet. The cashier prints a new receipt and puts it beside the cup on the tray. When Emma returns to the table, Noah raises his coffee cup. "Now you can order food and fix a mistake." Emma laughs. That is useful practice. Before they leave, she writes one sentence in her notebook. In a cafe, clear sentences are better than perfect sentences. Then she puts the notebook, wallet, and receipt into her bag and opens the door to the rainy street.